How to spot a fake Omega moon swatch. In this video, we're going to figure that one out. Hey everybody, I'm Massimo and welcome back to the only channel on YouTube that covers in-depth videos of cars and streetwear. Today, we're kicking it back with another how to spot a fake video. You guys have been absolutely smashing it with the support of the previous how to spot fake videos, so I just want to keep on cranking out that content with this watch. The most popular watch being sold on StockX right now. We're going to teach you guys how to spot a fake one. So without further ado, be sure to like and share for that YouTube algorithm. So subscribe, any support would just be awesome. Now let's get right into it. Alrighty, first off, you can spot a fake moon swatch without even having to look at the watch at all by looking at the box. So these boxes are actually kind of hard to replicate. A lot of the times they will straight get the color of the gray wrong and a lot of the fonts too. Like the thickness of the fonts and also the placement of the fonts is really wrong on a lot of these boxes. So things you want to look at is just get a reference box or reference photos of the box and examine the color of the gray. I know that might be a little bit hard to do in photos, but if you have a real one, it'll make it a lot easier. And also, just look at the fonts themselves. Make sure they are all aligned perfectly where they need to be on the box, and also the right spacing and thickness. And also, a lot has to do with texture too, especially on this side. Right here, you can kind of see that it's kind of textured a little bit on the photo of all the planets for the moon swatches. A lot of fake ones are just completely smoothened out and don't have this kind of texture. And the photos are really brightened up too. So yeah, that's a really good way to tell if the watch is fake. It's just by examining the box itself and finding off any off details. Now let's just take it out of the box. Open up the butterfly clamps here. And here's the watch. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it. I forgot how hard it was to take this thing out of the box. There we go. And then also check for accessories, especially if you're buying the watch brand new. If it doesn't have like the little pamphlets inside or something like that, that's a good sign that's either fake or definitely not even brand new. Righty, now here is the watch. All right, so the first thing I would check is the quality. Make sure that the stitching is all correct on here. This is a luxury watch, so it will have really fine stitching right there. Make sure that's all correct, perfect, nothing frayed or out of place. Examine other things like the bioceramic on this too. It's not the best material in the world, but if it comes out all damaged and already messed up, good sign that's not even like new or it's definitely a fake. And also the coloring of the bioceramic on the watch. See, this gray is also a hard to replicate gray. I did not know that until I started looking around, but yeah, a lot of the gray would kind of be like too bright or just doesn't match the gray on real watches. So that's another thing you gotta look out for. Yeah, so step one, quality. And make sure that there's not a whole lot of bits and pieces on this watch, so it should be not too hard for that part. But next would be the fine details of the watch itself. So this may include things like the fonts. Once again, make sure that that's all correct and in the right placement. Right now we're just looking for sizing, spacing, and also thickness of the font, and also the color of the font too. They've been messing that up a lot too. Make sure it's that nice Speedmaster white. Then we have another logo right here for the Swatch logo, and then right above that we have the Omega logo. Another thing for quality too is to check the quality of the moon on the back here. For the mission the moon, we have a photo of the moon, and a lot of fake watches don't have a really nice crystal clear photo like this watch does of the moon. It looks really low res or something like that. It just looks completely bad. Make sure you look out for that. Something new for watches is to look at the movement of the watches. So it is Omega watch, so it's going to have very good quartz movement on the watch. So you just want to examine that, make sure it's really nice and precise movements, nothing out of whack or anything. Should have really refined ticks. If you start seeing that thing tick and be bouncing everywhere, that's how you know you may have a fake. While we're on the face itself, let's talk more about the fonts too on the face. So a lot of watches will be messing up things like the needles on the watch. I'm going to use photos from Legit Check to show you guys right here. As you can see, the font on the authentic watch is really refined, really precise, and the fake one is a little bit sloppy, a little bit too thick with the needles. Once again, we want to be looking at logos. So this is a collab. So on the top here, we're gonna have the Omega X Swatch logo on the top right there. Trying to get that on camera for you guys. Make sure that's in the right positioning and spacing. As you can see in the photo, this is a different watch, but you can see a lot of the times it'll mess up the spacing and the font thickness too. I mean, look at the fake one. That's just really bad. Even more defined details would be the needles on the top too. Once again, make sure they're really thin and defined. Another logo to look out for would be the Swiss made logo, which is right on the bottom here. Super hard to see, but a fake one, once again, would just be all out of whack for the sizing and the spacing of the letters. Alrighty, also other details, of course, would be the tachymeter. So that would be the numbers around the watch, right about there. You want to make sure, you can pause this video if you need to, just make sure that the lettering, or the numbers in this case, is all spaced out correctly. As you can see in the fake photos, right here, they would just completely mess that all up and give off thickness as well. Alright, now rounding off this tutorial, it's a good thing to also check the numbers. So a lot of Omega watches will of course have some serial numbers or something like right there. You just want to check the numbers, make sure they match up to the real ones. Make sure you don't got any wrong numbers or something like that. And also just check, once again, placement, sizing, spacing, all that stuff. Another thing you could check too, I could not get this on camera for the life of me, but you can check and see if the watch glows in the dark. So these watches have a cool ability to actually glow in the dark and light up the dials. So if you just turn off your lights and see if the watch glows in the dark, it's a good way to check and see if the watch is fake or not. Because obviously if it doesn't glow in the dark, it's fake. And yeah, that should be really all there is to it for this tutorial. So how to spot a fake Omega Swatch Moon Swatch. What'd you guys think about it? Comment down below your opinion, like and share for that YouTube algorithm, and last but certainly not least, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.